Hello and welcome, my name is Mr. QB. This episode we have something pretty cool and exciting. We'll be learning how to build ourselves an artillery cannon, one with a lot of destructive potential. To achieve the destructive potential this design was intended for, we can't be tight with its ammunition. You'll need a lot of TNT, so be warned if you're thinking about building this in survival mode. So, let's take a closer look at what it can do and exercise its power before we build one for ourselves. Here, I've set up the cannon on a super flat world for a quick test. This thing has the potential to shoot incredibly far, much further than what we can see with render distance, which is where it gets its sniper name. The shots, however, when they crash on the surface, they can leave behind some minor damage, or they can design their own ravines. Depending on a few creative decisions, it can be quite wild and reckless. That's where artillery cannon squeezes itself into the name as well. To begin my little test, I decide to fire 20 shots and collect the results. The shortest distance it managed to damage the terrain at was 139 blocks away from the barrel. Nothing too surprising there. However, following the line in the earth I made earlier, it seems to have fired a shot 1,194 blocks away from the barrel. If you flew at default creative flying speed, that would take you 1 minute and 40 seconds to fly to. Of the 20 shots that were fired, about 20 to 30% of them landed between 140 blocks and 200 blocks. I found this was the biggest hotspot out of the couple I found. Collecting all the distances from the 20 shots, including the additional ones that repeatedly landed in the hotspots, the cannon averaged an estimated 500 block shooting distance, which is some pretty sweet stuff. And this is all a result from the 20 shots I fired. If you were to do the same, you could end up with even higher numbers. But its potential multiplies if the cannon is up somewhere high, like a mountain or up on stilts, raising the probable shooting distance significantly. When it's up high like this demo here, as opposed to sitting on the ground, you'll notice the TNT fired will ricochet off the surface, creating a much wider and destructive blast. So now we know of the killer potential this beast has. Let's go ahead and build one for ourselves. I urge you to watch as closely as possible for this tutorial and to follow each step very carefully, or your cannon could stand the risk of a few problems. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'll primarily be using 3 wall blocks to build the cannon, all of which different colours to represent each portion of the design, to make it clear and easier to follow along. Feel free to substitute these blocks for a different block when you build it, but I'll be referring to the colours of wall during the tutorial. First up, create a platform 13 blocks wide and 24 blocks long. Our cannon will be sitting on this platform, so you can have the platform anywhere you like, such as up somewhere high if you want to increase the distance of the cannon's range. With white wool, I mark a spot in the center of the platform, 1 block from the back. I place a button behind it, as this will be where we activate the cannon to fire it. With purple wool, begin marking out positions on the platform where the redstone work will be sitting on. Add a straight row of 10 purple blocks on the sides of the platform, like so. Three blocks from the white wall in the center, make another row of 2 purple blocks, then do the same for the other side. Then mark out 3 more blocks up here near the sides. Now to begin on the body of the cannon using white wool. Continue to follow along, adding more of the cannon's body with white wool. This long part here will be the barrel. Stretch it out until it reaches the end of the platform. Now we'll be adding to the bodywork of the cannon with dispensers. Follow exactly how I place them in, making sure they're also facing the same way as I face them. When placing dispensers on top of one another, you'll need to hold down the Shift key. Over here, starting with 2 wool blocks on each side of the cannon, we're going to make the second set of dispensers. That's it for the dispensers. Make sure they're all facing inwards towards the inside region of the cannon. Now to make a start on the redstone, follow along how I place in the circuitry. Place a comparator down in this exact position here, and then flick it on. Make sure it's facing the same way as I've got it. Do the same for the other side as well, as this design needs to be perfectly symmetrical. Add some more redstone in these locations. Now make a line of 7 repeaters on the sides. Make sure they're facing upward towards the comparator. Set all the repeaters on the sides of the platform to a full delay, clicking each one 3 times. We're going to add some more repeaters behind these dispensers. Make sure these repeaters are facing the dispensers in front of them. Now we're going to add the last bit of bodywork to the cannon. Follow along, adding in the redstone and the redstone repeaters. Make sure these repeaters are also facing towards the dispensers in front of them, then do the same for the other side as well. Almost done. Inside the barrel of the cannon, place in 13 slabs like so. Then at the end here, place in some water at the bottom. Your cannon is now complete and ready to be filled up with its ammunition. Load up each dispenser with at least a stack of TNT. The more TNT you put in now, the less you'll have to keep reloading the cannon later on. For the purpose of the tutorial, I'll only put a stack in each dispenser. Once you've done that, your cannon is now ready to fire. Go ahead and press the button at the back to launch the TNT and see the cannon work its magic. A big thanks to one of my builders, Realmlord, for the design of this awesome creation, and I thank you for coming along and watching this tutorial video. If you found it helpful, I'd be very grateful if you could rate the video, as it would help out a lot. Until next time guys, goodbye.